Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are watching us from. If you do enjoy today's content, please consider subscribing to the channel. And when you do, please remember to hit the notification bell so you get any notifications of any future content we upload. If you would like to support my page a little further, you can do via Ko-fi, where you can donate a little amount as you wish. This can be from as little as £1, and you can increase or decrease the amount you'd wish to donate to help me continue our work on the channel. And all the links will be in this description of this video. So without any further delay, let's go to today's video. Enjoy.
Excellent, cool. So then, my friend, just happy to give us a little introduction about yourself and your role at Norwich United, and what responsibilities lie with yourself, mate, really?
Yeah, so I'm Alex Fumagalli. Obviously, I'm an assistant coach for Norwich United under 18 and under 21. I've joined Norwich United last season, during pre-season. I was looking for a bit of a step up. I used to coach on under 8 football team, so very young lads, and very enjoyable as well. I would say a good experience for me to grow as a coach. And I just wanted to have a bit of change, just get a little bit on a real kind of football situation with the adults, or anyway still youth a certain level. And I remember at the time was a Mo Barton, and I was in Norwich United, and frankly Mo Barton came back first, but they said they already had the position covered, and the manager, I believe, from what I understood, the manager wasn't happy to share. So I then contacted Norwich United, and Rod was more than happy to involve me, basically, and from there it started. Obviously, this is going to be my second season coming with Norwich United, and hopefully many to come as well. Let's see. I used to be a goalkeeper myself, so I've always been involved in football. I've been able to, and lucky and unlucky, I will tell you why as well in a second, to play a certain level of football as well. I don't know if many people would be aware of Serie D, which is the fourth step in Italian football, which is kind of professional, semi-pro already, and then Serie C, which is the third division. But then unfortunately I broke my leg twice, my knee twice. And then, then I stopped. I found myself without a contract and stuff, and I decided to go back and play to have fun instead of playing as a job, or forced to be there. So I went down lower categories, started my coaching career actually with my father. So he's always been a coach. He never played football, my father, before. He always started as a coach, straight away as a coach, and just helped him from there basically. And yeah, I like it. I did a ref as well. Been a ref in Italy as well, just to try out. Yeah.
So if I'm right in saying, I'm sure I've got this right, and also the AC Milan runs through your veins, mate.
Yes, my whole family, aside from my mom, is AC Milan fan.
Okay.
So yeah, my mom, unfortunately, she is from the white and black kind of race.
Yeah.
She doesn't really follow football much, but if she has to follow the team, she will follow Juventus. Let's put it that way. Which, yeah, AC Milan is the blood basically in the family, I would say. So,
oh, good stuff.
Quite glad they're doing well at the moment as well. Very well. I watched the game the other night, and class football, I would say.
I've seen a few tweets you put out, and there's some. I must admit, some make me smile. I can see your joy, and I can also see your frustration.
Yeah. It's passion, I would say as well. I've been lucky to see AC Milan at the top of the level when they were winning a lot, And then obviously a bit of frustration from the last few years, where I think now coming to where we are now, seeing how we're playing now as well, I can understand what they were doing. We got the youngest team in the Serie A, so I can see what they were trying to do. Maybe some mistakes, I would say, too many changes in coaches, too many changes within the team as well at the same time. But they were trying to rebuild. So, I would say at the moment, I would be happy to see what's going to be in the future for AC Milan, and hopefully they can continue like this. So, yeah.
So coming back down to miserable, cold, wet England, mate, and back to Norwich. How are plans going to get the lads back in the training after the COVID-19 and restrictions and all the guidelines? How are you? How much of a headache is it giving you?
It's painful, I would say. Obviously, we have to stay very careful with the groups. You got to make sure that they are happy first of all to come to training. Some lads and some people, they might say no, I want to wait, which is understandable. So we were trying to train. We're lucky for us, we have enough people as a coaching group. So obviously myself, then Rod is the head coach. We got a newcomer this year, which is Marcel, which you'll probably see when the game is restart. And we used to take the groups. Basically, I used to go like Thorpe Rec, someone was going at Plantation Park, someone was going somewhere else. So we used to have a group in each place, obviously still into the regulations, obviously, and try and do as much as we could. Obviously, because we didn't know much at the time, I would say that it was hard also planning the session, something new completely. And for what my belief was, I was doing a bit of basics, so a bit of fitness, because they were coming from since I would say end of February, because we missed out the last 2 matches because of rain, if I remember correctly. Probably last 2 or 3 as well. And so obviously fitness, I personally think it comes a big part during pre-season, and a bit of basics, so passing the ball, just ball control and stuff like that. And there's not much else you can do realistically if you have to maintain the distance, so you can't have a normal training session. And I would like to say that the lads, I was very pleased with the lads as well. They reacted well to the situation. They understood what we were trying to do, which is the main point for us as coaches. And now I'm very happy. Obviously, we can go back to training. I would say full regime now. We got a good setup now. We had a meeting yesterday with the coaching group for Norwich United, from the first team down to us, and we got a lovely, I would say, pre-season plan. It's good. Would be good. Good to be there.
Excellent. So unfortunately, yes, when the season come to a bit of an abrupt end for all of us, how many of the lads are you hoping to keep and give another go, and how many of the lads you're going to lose just through basically being too old to play for the under 18s now?
I would say that we've retained most of the under 18s. We've been lucky from that side. Obviously, we had some lads moving up. Some other lads that they could play still under 18, we are moving them up, because we're thinking most as a development side. So more than winning the 18, we want to develop them to make them ready for the first team, because at the end of the day, we are a Saturday team. We are there to develop the players to be for the first team. If we can do it in-house, that is better. Obviously, we missed out a few players recently. One is, as we were talking earlier, Menu is Ruben.
Yeah.
The goalkeeper who left to go to Caister. Obviously, is his first senior team. Obviously, best of luck to him. Then we had, I would say, Ryan Bailey, a midfielder, left as well. Not sure what he's going to do. Would be interesting to see if it's going to continue or not. Then I think we right back, Pecky Thomas. He moved out because of university. So the age group, I would say, is anything can happen, because of when they look for their future as well. If they go away for university, then obviously you're going to lose. Then there's nothing really you can do. Some players obviously decide to move on, but I would say that, as I said, I'm happy we've retained a good number for it. And most of them, they're going to have the opportunity and the option to be able to play for us in the under 21 as well. So we're going to maintain the youth team for under 21, playing the Anglian combination, and we're going to try to do something good with them, obviously.
Excellent. And have you get a chance to speak to the new boss, Steve, about what his plans are with the youngsters and ambitions and what the goals are?
Yeah, we're doing now a training all together, so which I found very, very, very good and very interesting for us as a coaches, and obviously for the lads as a players as well. And he's been straight away very honest with everyone from the first training we had really all together. He basically said to them as well, we are a group. We don't have obviously we have first team under 21 and 18, but if I need someone, I would take it up. If he's ready, he will come with the first team. And also as a coach, I had the opportunity to help the first team as a coach, which I found very good for me from an experience point of view. And as I said, I really like the way he thinks. He thinks more as a group, more than just first team and then the youth teams, which is great to see. It's not a mentality that I've seen a lot in England, which is what is lacking, I would say, at times. It's more like a Central European mentality where the first team and the youth team, they work all together. And with all due respect from last season, that probably was missing. That connection was missing last year, I would say, last season. So no, I'm very happy with the first team management and players as well, I would say.
Cool. So obviously, unfortunately, when Cedric stepped down, unfortunately, and Jackson and Barnes obviously left as well, I suppose really that's where you lads come in to find the next hot prospect, really.
Yeah, obviously, a lot of people, I would say, that when Ced stepped down, we were like a bit of a shock. I personally was like, okay, where the club is going to go now? It was like a 50-50, so the club could have gone in a good way, like it did. I personally feel like it went in a good way, or it could have gone completely in the wrong way. So, as I said, the club, I personally feel like it went the right way. Steve, I believe, is looking what he's doing now is the right person for this club to progress it. But yeah, when Ced left, it was a shock for everyone. I don't know that Dara said to you as well, we didn't really know what was going to happen. And then you started seeing the big names, like Liam Jackson and, Barnes and all those, Pearson as well, the goalkeeper, starting to leave. Happy for them. They went to great clubs, I would say, especially what Leicester is doing. I think they're creating a good setting stone for football around this East Anglia side. And that's great. Obviously, it's good for them. We, as a club, I would say that we moved a lot also from last season. I know that Steve obviously took back some of the players when he won the cup as well and at Carrow Road. We just had Natty Stewart coming. And obviously, I didn't know him, so I had to research a bit for him, coming from Kings Lane, Wroxham, Durham. So hopefully he can deliver. He has all the opportunities to do it. And as a team, I would say as well, looking at the names, I believe we could do also probably better than last season. But yeah, there is, the ball is round, as we say in Italy. Anything can happen with the ball.
Cool. So with yourself, mate, and the under 18s, do you personally go around looking at scouting teams for the next Norwich United young stars, or do you have a team do it for you?
Well, this year we're gonna have someone in the management team that they're gonna help us with that. Last year, obviously, as you probably know as well, I was a lot in connection with a lot of different coaches and yourself as well.
Yeah.
During the matches, I was trying to take some stats, just create build the reports, a bit more of the game, and trying to remember also for the extra game when we're having the second game against them. And that is always, as a coach, I would say that it's always very important to do that. Obviously, I don't have the full time to be able to go and watch other games. I love to have that. I love to be able to have full-time coaching responsibilities, but money don't help it. But yeah, no, obviously you need to, I would say the under 18, you need to move any way you can. So build a good networking. I would say that is very important as well. During lockdown, I've been able to speak with different coaches from also with UEFA qualifications, which that is very good because they give me a bit of more of ideas as well for next season coming. I'm now starting to build a bit more of a player profile ready for the season, and that will help us going forward also to develop them. It's not, as I said, it's not about winning. Obviously, winning, everyone likes winning. I love to win. I'm sure the lads will love to win as well. But under 18, we are in the development phase, so we need to make sure that we develop them, whether for under 21 or for the first team. Then we have to see. We have to see also where they want to get. Because especially this year, I want to make sure that we know where we stand as a team. You either have the strive to be wanting to go to the first team, or you say, okay, I'm happy to just play England Com. Not all due respect to England Com, but you know where you want to stand, basically. That's what I'm saying. So, and that will be a good chat with the lads, I would say, before everything starts properly.
I suppose, mate, really, obviously, it's credit where credit's due, because when you got someone last year in goal like Ruben and a team like Caister have signed him, obviously, credit where credit's due. You're obviously doing things the right way and the proper way, really. I mean, obviously, yes, credit to the club, but obviously a big loss.
Yeah, 100%. Ruben is, as I said, Ruben is a fantastic goalkeeper. He has a lot of, he put himself into 100%. So he put a lot of efforts in and outside the training situation. He does a lot by himself, which always helps. What we're asking the players this year is to keep the fitness for themselves. We're going to help them on a tactical and technical side, but we're asking them to look after their own fitness, because being a semi-professional football team that trains 1 or twice a week, you can't have the time to also focus too much on the fitness, because otherwise you're going to lose the technical and tactical aspects. But yeah, again, Ruben, as I said before, for me, is one of the best goalkeepers at the moment of his age. Will be interesting to see him in adult football. It's different, completely different type of football. Sometimes a bit rough, but I personally feel he will do okay. We have two great goalkeepers now again. They were with us last season as well. Obviously, one is Jack Gorman, and the other one is Oli Greary. So they're both still with us. Great keepers. They're now training also with the first team, which that will help them in their development. Now the club has a goalkeeper coach, full-on goalkeeper coach, which is last year we were missing that. Being a goalkeeper, I was more than happy to coach the keepers, but not having the extra time and the possibility to do it, that was lacking. So yeah, we're moving good, we'll say. Keepers still going to be good this year.
There must be, I guess, obviously a bit of a sentimental sort of part where, obviously Ruben's not the first and he won't be the last that obviously have moved up to senior football, where I guess you may just keep one eye and think, in years to come, he's starting his journey with me and watching progress. And I suppose that's where you get a good amount of satisfaction and pride out of that, mate, really.
Yeah, that's what I would say. That is all what it's all about. Youth football. You're just looking for them to develop and be able to reach certain levels. To me, already be able to see that our goalkeeper was in Norfolk FA, going to the final of the County Cup. That was really good for the club, I would say. And I was happy because, I was coaching him. I know he obviously did all his part as well. But I feel I played a part in his development, even if it's just short season. But I feel like I played a part in his development. And yeah, it's good. As a coach, it's good to see players develop through the ranks. And I think he can do a lot. Obviously, he was going to move anyway because he was too old for another team, so he was going to move up anyway. Where he was with us, obviously, or another team as it happens, then it was his choice. But what we have to look for is their development.
Because it sounds like, despite the COVID-19 lockdown, it sounds like you've been very proactive and things haven't really stood still off the pitch at all, really. I mean, obviously on the pitch, obviously, as we know, we all stop off the pitch. It seems like you lads have been very busy and full steam ahead, mate. Really?
Yeah. We've been organising a lot. Especially I was meant to be on the level 2 course as well. The one has been cancelled just in April, just before literally when the lockdown started. So unfortunately, I wasn't able to do that. But because I love football and I love the coaching side of football, I was doing a lot of research and a lot of learning on the outside. As I said, I built a good network system on Twitter with other coaches, and I was able obviously to get some different ideas, the insights. So that helps. And yeah, just a lot of on the FA website there are a lot of CPDs. There are on YouTube as well. The FA YouTube, they have some great webinars. That is fantastic. I would say to be able to see that from professionals and be able to retain some stuff where you can learn and put them for your own team. That's great. I've been following as well. Norwich City, they've been doing some webinars. And there was one recently with Russell Martin, which was very, 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 very interesting, I would say. And that gave me a lot of ideas on what setting stones basically for the season to come for the players, what we want, what we want to achieve, and all stuff like that. And that in a club is very important, especially on the youth side. So.
Cool, excellent. So I guess the under 18s, under 21s are, I suppose, you're busy organising friendlies and bits and pieces and new training methods and back to business, mate. Really?
Yeah, back to business mode. Yeah, yesterday was a busy evening. I would like to say we had a club meeting, and we were starting to organise, different friendlies and talk about the plan for the pre-season. And I will, a lot of messages going back and forth trying to organise friendlies. I can't reveal anything yet, but we're gonna have put out a list of friendlies once they're all confirmed. Interesting. I like to say interesting. So keep an eye out for that, because that will be good to. Hopefully, some people can come and see. We don't know that if it's possible yet, but that will be interesting. So looking forward to it.
Oh, yeah, I was when you say about people coming to see, and I was speaking to Daryl a couple of days ago, and I was talking to him really, and it's I suppose the hardest part is trying to get the community involved and everything else, and get them through the turnstiles and support the lads really.
It's hard, yeah, because at the moment it's very confusing what you can, what you cannot do. There is opportunity for social distancing because you can just limit the amount of people coming in. We got enough space around Plantation Park where to put people. We are lucky for that because we have really a lot of space. So yeah, that would be interesting to see. It would be good if we can get the community involved, as you said. With professional football now starting to ease off, and people not be able to go to the ground. So we hope that when the season restarts as well, we're going to have people coming through. And that'd be good. Local football is as much as important as professional football. And sometimes professional football just gets boring, realistically, So might as well just follow local football.
I suppose, mate, just touching on last season, I mean, from a neutral, I found obviously the under 18s. I found the under 18s very entertaining last year. From top all the way down to bottom with all respect. Yeah. And 9 times out of 10, anybody could beat anybody. But obviously, the table doesn't lie. Yarmouth and Diss sort of eventually ran away with it a bit, and it was down to them two. And then there was sort of like the next 3, 4, 5, 6 of you. And then, with all respect, there was the 3, 4, 5 team at the bottom of the league. But, to be fair, for me personally, when you had match postponements or pictures weren't playable, or the home teams were calling off, I think, if I'm right in saying, I think your lads were one of the teams that played the least amount of games. And for me, I think really you sort of lost your momentum through no fault of your own. And to be fair, Yarmouth and Diss had a bit more of a head start, really.
Yeah, well, I'm just looking at now the table. So we only literally played 12 games out of 17 from Yarmouth and this. I fully agree with you. Yarmouth and this, obviously, they were flying. Great teams. I would say Yarmouth probably better than this, with all due respect. From what I could see, the dynamics of the game and the way they were playing, Yarmouth was better. It will be interesting to see Goldstone as well, because I think Goldstone actually they were the team with the lowest number of games, with 9. Would have been interesting, obviously, to see them too. But yeah, it was a very, very, very strange season. So, as you know, we were doing well, and then we started with games being called off, and that I would say that break a little bit our spirits as a team, not as a team, but as a continuity. And for youth teams, I would say that is very important to have the continuity. So to be able to go out and play, that is what they want. You know, they only do that once, twice a week. If you take off the training, is once a week realistically. So they look forward to that day of the week, and being taken away because of the rain. Sometimes it seemed a bit silly. Coming from Italy, in Italy we play even if it's snow. In England, it doesn't happen really. I've seen many games being called off for just a bit of rain in the morning. So I'm hoping that next season that doesn't happen, because it would be good to have a continuity for level of games. But yeah, as I said many times as well last season, we were struggling at times with maintaining our heads. Where if we were going down after like 10 minutes. We were struggling then to come back up, and that is mentality. That is all about mentality coming from. It has to come from the lads. So we can tell them 10 times, but 10 times can come in and out from from their head. So that has to be coming from the lads. So mentality, winning mentality, positive mentality. Want to be there. I want to win, or I want to improve myself, and that has to come from there. We can help them until a certain point, and then they need to put themselves into it as well. And I would say that this year we're going to have to be more experienced through the ranks, as I said before, we've been able to retain them, and both for 18 and 21. So they're going to have also that level of extra year of experience, basically.
Yeah, well, I must admit, I've spoken to many managers. Well, you can imagine probably how, like you say, your phone, my phone, over the last few days, speaking to people. There was a lot of games with the under 18s throughout the whole league, where it was really, really entertaining, and sometimes it was more enjoyable than a Saturday afternoon or a Sunday morning, with all respect. For example, I remember I went to Beccles to see him play Dis. And I think that was the game where they Beccles had a change of managers, and lo and behold, Beccles put Dis to the sword and beat Dis 3-0, which was totally not, I didn't expect it to happen. Yeah. I don't think Beccles expected it to happen. And then there was Bungay against Goulston, which was a 0-0, but it was one of the most enjoyable 0-0s I've seen. And all credit to the under 18s league and to all the players and what's trying to happen there, mate, really.
Yeah, but I've got to say, I wasn't expecting that. That was my first season with the under 18 league, and I wasn't expecting that as well, to be fair. It's very entertaining and very, how can I say, the lads, they wanted to fight for it, and it was good to see. It wasn't just a youth league where, they just play for it. It was more, obviously, I want to win it, I want to be there. And that was good to see. And going back to Beccles, I think Beccles, their league table is a lie. They have a good team. There are some great players. Not sure what was happening. Was a strange situation, I would say, because when we played against them, they had all the cards to be able to do well in the league. They're great players, I would say as well. Up ahead, they got Musab. It's fast, powerful, great shot. He used to come and train with us for the season, then obviously moved to Beccles. So we knew already his style of play. But yeah, I would say that league table is a bit of a lie for all of the teams as well. Which they were all great, realistically, once we played against them. So yeah.
Yeah, I must admit, I said to quite a few managers as well, if there wasn't so much of a disruption, not so much, for you guys and the rest of the teams in that league, it would have been very interesting to see how much of a thorn you would have been in Dis and Yarmouth's side. Because at one point, you were sort of, they were doing their business, they kept winning, etc. So did you, but you were doing it you were doing it like you was nice and discreet. You're just going about the job. You was coming away with 3 points, and then, like I say, you got the big disruption and bits and pieces, and just didn't help, mate. Really.
That was the problem. We used to do a game. We used to win it, and then maybe we were 2 weeks without a game because it was raining. And that cause disruption, as you said. That is not good for anyone, not for the coaches because we can't build momentum, not for the players because they are eager to go on the pitch, and then when they do, they think they have too many thoughts in their heads. And sometimes that was happening last season. They wanted to do too much for the situation they were in. Yeah, I'm hoping the season that comes now is not going to be like that because it creates too much disruption. Then it needs to be more continuity from all teams involved. If it's a bit of a rain, is there a point of calling off the game, really? I know they're under the team, but at the same time, it's football. You have to be a little bit more, not angry, but, kind of.
Yeah, well, I suppose, unfortunately, it's not that it's a bad thing, but many grounds now, it's not just a Saturday, is it? They sometimes host a ladies' game on a Sunday, and there's obviously you guys. I mean, obviously, Plantation Park was used for Norwich City ladies. So to be fair, Plantation Park, to be fair to it, had a lot of traffic on it, and I can't really say I was surprised, really, with some of the call-offs anyway, to be fair, really.
Yeah, well, the only major call-off was after the Norwich City ladies against Preston, I would say, because we only had the 2 or 3 call-offs maximum, I would say, no more than that, as at home games. And the worst one was after the ladies' match, that the pitch was completely destroyed after the big rain. Because that day was raining badly, and they went on playing the game, and obviously the pitch got destroyed after that.
Well, I must admit, I remember when I went to Norwich United to film Norwich City ladies against Ipswich ladies, and we had all that rain, and I thought to myself, the ref was going to call it off before it started, really, and we're all going to go home. But I remember watching the Norwich goalkeeper when she was warming up in one of the corners. It became like an absolute mud bath. And I think, if I remember rightly, I messaged you and said, "Are you here? Have you seen the pitch? Ready for a couple of days' time?" Yeah. And you were like, "Just don't tell me."
No, yeah, that's the thing, yeah, because I was hoping for them to be able to play on a Thursday coming, but yeah, I can understand when the pitch is like that. But we had occasions last year where I remember it was raining in the morning, like an hour or so, and games were called off straight away in the morning without even waiting the afternoon. That to me seemed a bit rush and that's going to help us a bit. That's why I was saying, I like to see more games going ahead. It's good for the lads. It's not for me, not for the other coach. It's good for the lads. They want to play. They want to, they're eager to play. It's once a week. Let them, do it.
Sure. So with the under 18s, mate, I mean, obviously it would be nice to win the league, win any cups you're in, etc., etc. But realistically, hand on heart, what are your goals and expectations as a club and as a coach for your next young under 18 team for the new season?
Well, as a club, is again what I was saying earlier, just develop them. So take them up to the ranks, so doing under 21 to get them a bit of senior football, and then if possible just put them to the first team. So we have some under 18 which they are already training with the first team, and some of them already also played last year, so like Jaden Snelling, James Dickerson, so they already went in to play for the first team last season, which is good to see. As a youth coach and as a club, it's good to see that you develop the players in-house and you move them to the first team. so as a club, that is the main goal. So be able to get the players, get them better, and move them to the first team. So that is the club goals, which I believe should be every club realistically. As a coach, it would be lovely to see the lads having fun, win some stuff. Would be good for them, when people say, "Oh, I'm in for participation," let's not talking, shit. Really, everyone wants to win. Everyone's would like to win. Everyone is happy when they win, and the lads most of everything. So would be good. Would be good to have a good season. That's for sure. I would say.
Just remind me, how was your cup runs last year?
So we went out against Durham, against the Deza team in the second round. So we played the first round against Goldstone, beat them 2-0, and then went to play Deza and lost 5-0, something like that. And something that like Deza, I think they were a different bubble completely. That if we have to talk about bubbles, they do now. They're a completely different situation. It was good, even if we lost 5-0, it was good. It was an experience, I would say, for the lads to see how to play football with the right mentality. I would say all in all, they have fantastic setup there. Just being able to have the lads whole day, every day, coach them, teach them and coach them. That's fantastic.
Sure.
One day I would love to be able to do something like that. In an environment like that, that would be a good goal, I would say, for me.
Sure. So, just with the under 21's, mate, just remind me, which Anglian Com League are they in?
Div 1.
And how did they get on last season? Because I must admit, I don't think I actually got around to seeing the under 21's at all last year, to be fair.
Yeah, so last season was another weird one, I would like to say, because it's a bit, obviously we were having a young team, and that really didn't help us. We basically finished second from bottom, 14 points. I wasn't following them a lot, if I have to be fully honest. I was more with the under 18 Saturdays for family meetings, for family time. Basically, I was more with the family than with the team. But I went to a few games as a coach as well. And from the way we start the season, I remember at Attleborough we lost something like 4-5-1, something like that. To the way we finished it, there was a massive improvement. The way the lads they were looking at the game, the way they were playing it, the mentality they were starting the game as well, there was a massive improvement. So that's why I was saying earlier, I think that the season coming, we're going to see a good season. I personally feel it's going to be a good season because they got experience. So they can say, no, it's a new setup. We don't know what to say, what to look for. So they have the experience. They know they can do good. We're going to have some new coming from the under 18 as well, which are eager to show up in the men's football. So I think there's going to be some good football coming up. And hopefully we can do a little bit better as well, the league table as well. Because as I said earlier, no one really likes to be the bottom, we would like to be a little bit higher.
Just from memory, mate, what sort of cup runs do they have then?
For the under 21?
Yeah.
We didn't have a FA for the under 21, just the under 18.
Okay.
Yeah, just for the under 18.
And I guess obviously you're busy arranging pre-season friendlies with the under 21's as well at the minute.
Yeah. As I said, we had some. The phone yesterday was going quite a lot. We will be releasing them soon because they're mostly confirmed, I would say. But it will be good there will be good friendlies. Some good things coming, I would say.
Cool. Have you got any dates free you want to shout out for anything, or are you all sorted?
Well, friendlies not yet. I would like to wait for all of them to be confirmed. But I know we're gonna host an open trial on the 8th of August.
Okay.
Yeah, and we're gonna come out obviously on the medias as well with more details about it. But on the 8th of August, we're gonna have an open trial, so that would be interesting to see. Who comes around basically, and maybe a good potential for the season to come.
You never know. You might find the next Jackson or the next Finley Barnes, mate. You never know.
Exactly. That's what we're, that's why we do stuff like that. It's good to give opportunities. Some lads, they might not know that we're looking. Some lads, they might be shy. Different personalities, you never know. So that would be good to be able to get them around, have a game, and see what we're facing with, basically. But as I said, we're gonna come out with more info, basically, on social medias with the time.
Sure.
But that's something that we already spoke about, and we know it's gonna happen on the 8th of August anyway in open trial. So then for friendlies, good things to come, but they will be confirmed in next few days. I reckon the next few days, but I'll come out with a lovely graphic as usual.
Cool, excellent. So just to finish on there, mate, what would be your message from the under-18s to the rest of the league for next season then?
Look after for us. Just as I said, we got a good group, so it would be good to see more things happening, be more reliability, not reliability, but be more continuity in the games, so less postponements or less call off. That is all really. That's all I'm hoping for, because as I said, the group, I'm happy with the group. So I'm waiting. I'm looking forward for the season to start. It has been a lot now that we've been stopping. So
excellent. I guess with under 21s, obviously, give the league a good go, but most importantly, try and produce a bit of talent to go out through the ranks, mate. Really.
Yeah, and that's the goal. Yeah, that's the goal.
Excellent. Cool. Well, I must admit, mate, it's been good to catch up with you.
Yeah, good to catch up with you too, mate.
And